Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel, and welcome back to Elm Creek Farm. I'm lost. Hang on. Here we go. All right. Um, I thought that it was fitting, as it is October and we've got beautiful fall colors, that we would come and check out the corn maze here on Elm Creek map. This is where you start the corn maze, and the corn maze rules, which we need to make sure that we follow. No cussing. Remember, the corn has ears. No running in the maze. And if you're lost, do not panic. A team of expert searchers a team of experts searches the maze every other Thursday. Well, let's hope that today is that Thursday. My family and I came up here to do the corn maze. They're still in the corn maze. We've got work to do back on the farm. So that is where we're going to head now. And let's head back down. All right. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope you had a nice weekend, depending on when this video is going to air. That is, I believe this is episode number 7. I think 7. Yeah, it's either 7 or 8. You know, I lose track. That's just what happens when you start to become a middle-aged man, middle-aged old man, I suppose. And the corn maze, if you don't have Farm Sim 22, or if you're new to it and you haven't had the opportunity to make it over this direction, the corn maze is located just across from the mill. You can see it here. Now, I don't know what will happen when this corn is harvested. I don't know if this will go away or if this is static unless you were to purchase it, or if it always will grow back into a corn maze. That would be cool. I do like these little bits of eye candy that has been included in this map. There's another section that I'll show you someday, not today. We've got work to do on the farm, but like it's like a hiking trail, and just beautiful. I saw it on a video uh, on one of the YouTube content creators that previewed the game before the game was available for everyone else to install, and it was just amazing. And just kind of cool. I mean, I realize this is not a hiking simulator. Well, it's not a corn maze simulator either, but you know, hey ho, it is an agricultural simulator, and people grow corn just for the purpose of creating corn mazes. At least they do here in Colorado. There's a big one up north of Denver every year that opens up. But anyway, just the added sort of features that they include in the map, I call it eye candy, things to do, and of course we've got gold nuggets were popular, and I think it was Farm Sim 17, or it might have been 15. I can't remember now, but in one of the two, we had gold nuggets to pick up. There's been other challenges that people or things that people could pick up, and I think it was in 17 actually. And this has got some various things that you can also pick up to collect to get extra money and stuff like that. But it's just really cool, the visuals. Giants has really outdone themselves in that respect. And while there are some challenges still with contracts and other things that people are finding, it really is a beautiful game, and very, very, very fortunate to be able to play it, and extremely fortunate to be able to bring you these YouTube Let's Play videos. Now, I think I mentioned to you in the previous video, whatever number that was, that our silage was going to come available to us in the short future, and it did. And here it is. The bunker is opened, and we can climb up on our silage here, and you can see that the back end is still wrapped. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have dairy cows. Yay! We finally have something else to do on the farm besides plow, cultivate, harvest, spray, those kind of things. And we just bought 25. Of course, our main farm is just next to the livestock dealer, so they just had a couple of cowboys show up with a couple of horses and just herded these guys right into our pen, or actually these gals, I should say, right into our pen, and they're just wonderful. I love the new animations, and the the looks of the cows look a little bit more realistic. I mean, I don't know how much better you could get as far as creating a virtual cow. Okay, well, we've experienced our very first game crash by staring too long at our cows, so we need to be careful about that. And I've not necessarily seen that bug reported, but something must have occurred as I was standing there looking at that cow just a little bit too long, and the game froze and eventually crashed to desktop. So we won't do that again. Um, but the cattle operation or the dairy operation is set up and it is going. And I'm trying to figure some of this stuff out as I go along. I've got hay, I've got straw, I've got silage. The mechanical robotic feeder is working, and it runs at the top of the hour. So in maybe 6 minutes, I tell you what, let's see if we can speed up time just a minute where you can see this. And it's probably not going to run because we've maxed out the food. I went ahead and brought in, if we look at our animal menu here, um, we've got we've got 59,262 liters total of food. I did bring in some hay and I brought in some grass because I'm a little bit confused about the productivity and the health status of our cows. I did purchase the adult cow so that we would get milk the first year, and this has come up from 10% to 20%. So perhaps each hour this health status will increase, and we'll just keep an eye on that and see how that goes. We've got a whopping 37 liters of milk that we have produced. So I don't know if maybe I should not have filled the hay and the grass here at the trough. I just pulled the trailer in to the inside and pulled up to the icon and dumped. And of course, the cows came running in to the stall when I did that, so that was kind of cool. But anyway, we will just keep an eye on that, and I'll update you if that progress improves. Now, today we are in a brand new game day, I think, from what we were in the previous, or at least we've progressed a little bit into that day. I think we have another crop that is available to harvest, and that is sunflowers. Now we have a total of three crops still to harvest, one being the sunflowers I just mentioned, the second crop being soybeans, and the third crop being corn. So we will just go ahead and of course the soybeans and the corn, those are not yet ready to harvest. So I'm guessing that we'll be doing that in November, which, again, as I said in the previous episode, I'm not entirely sure if that is if it's a bug or if the growth cycles just are not set accurately, and maybe when the patch comes that'll get tweaked. But I don't think I remember in FarmSim 19 or even in 17 with the seasons mod harvesting crops into November, certainly. But maybe that has something to do with the one game day per month. Again, I'm going to change that to be 2 game days per month, so we play with 6 game days per season. That is what I have been doing with FarmSim 19, and we will see if any of that changes. But for right now, we're just going to go up here and harvest the sunflowers, and then probably let you get on your way to doing things either on your virtual farm or in real life, or whatever you're doing. So I think I also mentioned in one of the previous videos that I had been looking at the opportunity to, once we harvest this corn, of essentially extending the corn field down up the hill and around, and just kind of make this a large area that we plant grass in, and just see how that works out for us. We're going to need We're going to need a large amount of grass, I think, to be able to sustain our operations here, both from silage needs, as well as well as hay and apparently grass as well, since we've got to feed our cows grass as well. It's a little unfortunate because I kind of wish that Giants would configure um, their version of the season's functionality so that at least during maybe spring, summer, and fall, the cows would actually eat grass out of the pasture, and we might not need to actually we might not actually need to put grass in the trough. I have been involved with some farms when I grew up in Texas as a teenager, helping out one of my friends had a dairy, and as in my older teenage years, for a little bit of extra money, I would go out and help him with some of his chores and stuff. And I don't ever recall, at least in Texas, dairies in Texas, feeding grass directly to cows. That's not to say that it doesn't happen maybe elsewhere, but certainly from my experience, limited experience that I've had with farming and dairy operations and stuff, we didn't do that. Sure, we gave hay, they had silage and stuff like that, but did not feed. You know, we didn't go out and mow grass per se and bring it in and feed it to the cows. We mowed grass and made hay and then collected the bells, and I've handled quite a number of bells in my years, picking them up and throwing them up into the trailer. Of course, the small bells. But anyway, that is a completely different story. The other thing that we're going to need an abundance of, especially if we want to continue our mill and bakery operations and really try to maximize profits in those endeavors, is we're going to need a lot of grain. We're going to need a lot of either wheat, barley, oats, or sorghum. And I was looking because I didn't. I'm kind of figuring things out as I go along, as I've said many times. But kind of looking at the way that all works, that operation, and I'll show it to you here in just a minute because I don't think I've done that previously. But if we go into um, our production chains, and if we look at our grain mill, and again, if this is how I'm understanding this, but 150 units of wheat will give us 120 units of flour. In barley, 150 units of barley will give us 113 units of flour. Oats, 150 units of oats will give us 188 units of flour, and sorghum 150 to 158. So, in all honesty, even though we've already planted our wheat field, um, you're going to be far better off. And again, unless I'm misunderstanding this, to go with oats and or sorghum, because you're going to get more. You're going to get more bang for your buck out of oats making flour than you will, especially barley, because that's a huge loss there, and quite not so bad with wheat. But oats and sorghum is going to be your best bet. So yes, we will be planting oats when we can. Of course, you can't plant oats in the late fall time frame like we're in right now. So we will have to wait until that planting season comes around. But we'll be reserving a field or two, and I think I really want to combine at least these three fields into one, possibly leave those other fields that we're looking at there in front of us as they are, and go with that. Now, I'm in sort of two minds because I just said that once that corn harvest or once the cornfield has been harvested, perhaps we'll extend that and make that grass. One other thing that we could do, of course, it will be an equipment investment because we don't have a forage harvester, but we could certainly plant corn for chaff purposes, cut it, chop it, and use that for in our silage bunker. So that could be one thing that we could do instead of tying up a field for grass solely for that purpose. It's possible that all the verge around the fields that I have been mowing fairly consistently will suffice as far as our needs are concerned with regards to hay and grass, and then do corn chaff for silage. But we'll sort of experiment and think about that as we continue to move forward throughout the gameplay and into the next few months and everything, especially once we get this harvesting and everything done, because we've planted canola and we've planted wheat. This big field that used to be potatoes, this is our wheat field. So we positioned it here close by to the farm for the purposes of carting the straw, which we obviously will need an abundance of that as well for our dairy. And but I think that we'll probably put in a field or two of oats and probably concentrate on corn, oats, and maybe like soybeans as a good cash crop, something like that. We will just see. So let's go ahead and we'll pipe out and go ahead and just load these sunflowers into our trailer. And we may or may not sell them now. It just depends on pricing, but we'll take a look at that at a later time, and might want to go and sell that now, or just go ahead and silo it until the prices um, go back up. Because right now, I think pretty much everything is down, almost rock bottom, as far as the pricing and everything goes for crops. And we'll take a look at that schedule and maybe talk to some of our fellow farmers or fellow buyers and see if they have a need for it, if they're willing to pay a little bit more now to get the material now versus waiting until the prices fluctuate back up. We've got some options. But our greenhouses are working and producing just fine. Now I may have to rethink again. I think I said in the previous episode that I have the distribution of the bread set to auto distribute. I may change that philosophy because what I found out yesterday was it. Now the bakery will sell to the highest bidder, if you will, but it's going to take a 35% cut to transport that bread to that buyer. And we'll just have to see if we can actually justify that. It's making us money. I see that our price jumps up, comes down a little bit as I hire employees to do things around the farm, and then it goes back up again. So we are making money with that enterprise, between that and of course the three greenhouses that we have. But 35%, do I really want to pay somebody 35% to move the bread? Maybe I could work a little bit harder at learning pallet handling and bell handling techniques on the forklift or a front loader or something like that, and keep that 35% in my pocket. That's where it should be anyways. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching another video. I think the family has got back from the corn maze. Hopefully, everyone is made it out of there, and we will check on them in due time. But thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm doing this Let's Play here on FarmSam 22 and also releasing mod reviews. My mod reviews are done in 5 minutes or less. It provides you all the information that you need to be able to make a decision to whether or not the mod will work for you and how you play. Release those as they're coming out, mods that we're finding both on Giants Mod Hub as well as mods that are being released through simplysafemods.com. Simplysafemods.com is my own mod hosting website that I created about 2 years ago. And please be sure and check it out. We've already got mods available for FarmSim 22 already. So thank you again for watching. I do very much appreciate it. Take good care of yourself, and God bless you all. Bye for now.